morning. I gotta see if it fucked up. It gave me cannot contact server again. So let's see. Oh, I guess it's working now. I guess it's working. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder. Let's put on Do Not Disturb. Morning, Paul. Okay, good. At least I'm not the only one here. Okay. Day to enter, win a year. Trendspider.
Daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow.
Hit the thumbs up button. Morning, Nathan. And there's crowns now for everybody. Like Oprah. You get a crown, you get a crown, you get a crown. There we go. Norway. Jesus Lord. You and Rosa. All over the place. I'm impressed. I am impressed. I might as well start this. Let's see. I went and got blood. I guess. Can I show you? Yeah. I had to. Morning, Chris. No, you didn't. I had to have a blood test this morning. So, if I pass out, somebody call the police. Big show. You know what? Let's start off with some scans. I will do scans. I'm international. They sent me a picture of them watching me in an airport, I think in Amsterdam. Or was it Latvia? You know what? Fuck the hat. The hat's causing me problems. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. I got a bit of a humble brag episode. I mean, just get ready for me to have a big head today. Because the douchebags that say that all I do is pump affiliates, you're gonna hear the humble brag today. And FYI, just know, I don't think I took one of these trades. And there's going to be a lot of things that I don't do that, hey, the opportunity's out there for it. Just understand, you know, I don't want people to follow me. I want people to take the information that I give and act on it. And so, you know, I'm not always right, but good God, I have a good track record in a bull market. Hit the thumbs up button. Let's see. Sent me a pic. Okay, where is it? It didn't come through. Just says pic, Laura. I can reply back, great picture, but literally, Laura, that's what it says. It does say sent from my iPhone. So high five for Team Apple. But for some reason, maybe it's, hold on. Is it processing? No, it's not even processing. Technical difficulties, Laura. Morning, Carrie. So, okay, let's do some scans. Because 8:30, did the job stuff come out? I mean, 8:30 is the job stuff. Non-farm payroll jump more than expected. Unemployment rate falls. Oof. Good jobs report. Oof. 147 versus 110 consensus, 144 in May, revised from wow. Wow. Okay. Okay, that's what kind of, I mean, oh, I love it over. I need to get over there. Berkshire's a safety play, Jacob. You're in a bull market. So what's up with Berkshire? Berkshire is very much slow and steady. And it's losing because the money's going other places. Because it's going to growth. And it's going to, again, it's slow and steady. You had a great run of Berkshire. I mean, just look at the chart. The chart of Berkshire, when you go to a weekly, is very clear. I mean, nothing's happening. I mean, it's just pulling back a little bit. But that is not typical of Berkshire. Because when you go to a monthly chart of Berkshire, you can see it's just slow and steady. So it's just pulling back a little bit. Yeah, they did adjust it. It looks like they adjusted. I got to check that all these damn things are still in play. Okay, that's Savvy Trader. That's the newsletter, which we had a different one. So I got to just refresh that. Why do I have a bright screen? I think let me see. I can't go to there on there. I'll do it later. The Trendspider sale is on for another 3 days. This one is on for another day, I think. I don't know. The market's jumping before open. Let's say QQQ is what I track. Yeah, 0.41. I mean, it's going up, and the reason it's going up is you got a good job market. You've got a good inflation doesn't seem to be rising, and the job market is actually strengthening, which actually puts pressure on the Fed. Is it too good of a market? I mean, if you have an independent Fed, and this was the debate we were having on Spaces yesterday with the Wolf Crew. I don't know what happens if they actually lower rates. Because who knows what actually happens? I don't know anything about that, and it's just weird. I mean, Trump has told you he wants rates at 1%. Guess what? You're gonna get rates at 1%. Now, if they do it overnight, that's a problem. So the big debate yesterday on Spaces was is Trump dumb enough to actually put somebody in who's going to do it overnight? And I don't put it past them, but I think there's smart enough people around him that won't let that happen, but you just don't know. He's got he has literally told you, and he wrote a handwritten freaking note to Jerome Powell, 1%. So yeah, it closes at 1. And congrats to anybody who's brave enough to buy 0-day options on today. A half day expiring today. XLE, XLRE. XLE is, I think, a laggard. Not bad. I think you probably get into this range. So XLE, probably not a bad one. Let's look at the indexes. Dow Jones. Nothing I see is kind of, I didn't do the watch list. I should do the watch list. Let's just do the indexes. CVX, Chevron. Let's go to Nasdaq. FANG, KLAC, MCHP, on semi, and let's go to S&P. There's enough here. COP, ConocoPhillips, Chevron, Deere, Oracle. Oracle gets a nice one. Let's go look at the watch list. Because I didn't do the watch list. I did the spider sectors. There we go. Duolingo, GDX, Oracle, PARR, PSIX. This one, I mean, we're going to go over this one. This one's just, I mean, outright just nasty. Nasty. Like Janet Jackson. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. Just, I mean, $24.47 and you're at $70.30. I mean, what do you want? What you want? What you want? Let me see if the picture came through now, Laura. Nope. Still no pic. Ed Corona is thanking me. I'm telling you, Chris, if you're go over to Substack and there's a guy, the Options Oracle, Ed Corona. If you're trying to learn options, that guy, I mean, good God. The post that he makes about just the gains that he's done, and he's got a whole system. It's crazy. I mean, it's nuts. So, okay, here's what we're going to go over. We're going to look at all crypto ETFs are not created equal. I mean, that's a chart of GBTC versus IBIT. IBIT seems to be following Bitcoin, but GBTC seems to be underperforming a little. So I was watching some stuff last night. There's a new Solana ETF that actually gives you staking. And that's this one. Interesting, because when I went over to Perplexity and asked about it, Perplexity is telling me the current staking is 7%. So I'll kind of go over that stuff. Chip stocks gain after larger tax credits in Trump's bill. I mean, you're going to get stuff like that. I think chips are just, I mean, it's the new gold. Oscar Health. We'll talk about Oscar Health. I've said, I got asked about that one. Bullish Bytes asked me to go over Shopify. So I'll look at Shopify. The layoffs have started. In fact, my brother just got laid off from Microsoft. So 9,000 people. Yeah, it's not fun, but I have a feeling, you know, I'll talk about the difference, but yeah. Amazon's saying they're not seeing the tariff inflation. I mean, there you got a great jobs market. You got, you know, I don't know that, I mean, just, we'll talk about crypto because we'll talk about the gains that I had here. This is literally a note from October 9th that for me, stocks to buy. Okay, we'll look at it because PSIX is up 554% since then. IBIT is up 77% since then. MicroStrategy up 117 points. Powell. I mean, you know, we'll go over a bunch of things, including, you know, some of the paid stuff too. A stock that might be boom with tariff negotiations. This is April 15th. Two stocks, LNG and Melly. We'll take a look. Are they up? Most likely, yes. Small cap semis look good here. Remember Poet from last week? Yeah, that's up as well. we will look at all of these stocks that I've kind of gone over and picked and said, hey, these look really good. Robinhood was up 10%. I told you it was going to hit 100 yesterday, and it's actually gotten cheaper. This is interesting because I saw this. Webull was one that I said, hey, if you're trading Robinhood, you might want to look at Webull. And they're just doing a 2%. It's unbelievable. So I'll include that in the newsletter if you want to talk about that. After a 10% gain in Q2, after being down in Q1, Q3 and Q4, never lower. Up nearly 16% in the final months of the year. It's going back. I mean, it's a limited one, but Ryan is just killing it with, hey, look to higher. Yesterday saw a golden cross. That's bullish. I mean, you know, there was somebody that required a grok to answer that one. Far more money has been lost by investors trying to anticipate corrections than lost in corrections themselves. This is something I need to pound into my head. So, yeah. In fact, I got to look at Twitter because Shy said he's on the Compound and Friends. I can see that one. By the way, this is where Laura is. Holy crap. Okay, I can tell you right now. Here's my thoughts on this. No way I'm going to the top of that mountain. I'm hiking at the bottom of it, but I think I would probably get too scared at the cliff sides on that one. But holy hell, I'd want to. Wow. God, I'm jealous. You guys have a great time. That's amazing. But let me go look at Shy. Because he said he's on the Compound and Friends, I think, this weekend. Because he was doing a whole bunch of yesterday. He was doing a whole bunch of Wall Street stuff. There's that goofy ass grin. Maybe he took it down. Did he take it down? Who are these people? But yeah, he said, let me see the Compound and Friend. Let me see if the Compound news. I don't think they've released their episode yet. No. It'll be interesting to see if he's on there. But yeah, I mean, just Shy is killing it. By the way, if you're not following Shy, go and follow him. He's just I think he's very humble. B, I talk about elevator pitches a lot with your stocks. He's got them and he sticks by them and he's done great. I think he's made $1 million. I think he's a millionaire now. I don't know. He's much younger than I am. I wish I had his knowledge at his age. I think I'd be far wealthier than I am now, but you know, it's not about wealth. And this is what I was trying to tell people yesterday. It's not about the wealth that you have. You know, people will get there. If you're smart and you're consistent and you just make decent portfolio moves, nothing great. I mean, I didn't make, oh my God, the moves. It was just, you know, hey, I got in early. I made sure that I was smart. I made sure that I lived below my means. And yeah. Let's see. I need to read this. Don't know. Adjusted Rouse reports later in the month about the breaking price. Yeah. I took it. 83 to 88. XLE, you know, and I'm not great at support levels and stuff, but I do know that XLE, I mean, this has been that 93. I mean, that goes back to 2022. Okay. And you can even take that 101 all the way. I don't know if it actually justifies up here, but energy, other than trading it, has been a dead hold. I mean, there's no reason to hold it. Nothing. If you've got an energy stock other than MPLX, go and look at its performance, because you may just want to rotate into tech. Remind me later. It wants to update OBS while I'm streaming. F you, OBS. Yeah, and I get that too, Carrie. Every time an ad comes up, Nathan said there's a three dots and you can do that, but I don't know. I think Toast is a good one. Yeah, Josh is in Lake Como in Spain, Italy, I think. So, I don't think that Shy has the hilarity that Josh has. But I also think, so here's the take on it. I think it's going to be less funny, even though Michael's very funny. But I do think that Shy is a far bigger risk taker than Josh. So okay, let's go into the podcast. Yeah, I think Josh is hilarious. And Josh is a great investor too. I mean, he's got that. I think he's hellbound. I'm writing a newsletter now, and I got the idea from listening to Josh one of these days. I forget what it was, but I'm writing a newsletter about risk tolerance and understanding your own. And from talking with so many people, it's clear to me you get your risk tolerance in the era that you grow up in, meaning, and again, the newsletter is being written, so I kind of know, and I liken it to myself. My grandfather, Depression era, post-depression, very scared to buy it. He always talked about when we were kids, if he had just bought IBM, just a couple of shares of IBM, we would be the Rockefellers and not, I mean, he did well, but, wasn't overly wealthy, but did fine. Then my parents, all of my parents' siblings, my parents were the most successful of any of the siblings from a monetary standpoint. And my mother had a brother and a sister. My father had two brothers, and they all had like 6 kids and stuff like that. And I think I'm probably one of the most successful monetarily, but we've had some pretty early retirees in our family too. So I mean, we don't talk about it. Everybody's doing fine though. Nobody's kind of down on their luck. But I think the market that you grow up in, so my grandfather grew up in that depression era, passed it on to, his kids, and they were semi-afraid to invest. My mother is definitely the least risk tolerant between my mother and my father. And they grew up in the 70s investing, and that was a tough time. And so they wound up making most of their money in real estate and then stocks later. As I started investing in the late 80s, they said, ooh, we need to get in on this. And they started teaching me about stocks and stuff like that. And so my dad in tech, he was started investing. So I do think that the era that you grow up in has a lot to do with your risk tolerance. And so it's, I don't, there are many people who in my 20s and 30s that I worked with, okay, who I would give stock tips to and say, yeah, I'm putting $10,000 in here, I'm putting $20,000 in here, who are not as wealthy as I am. And, it was just, they didn't follow the same rules and the same lifestyle and the same kind of thing. It was, hey, I'm going to buy a new car. I'm going to buy, this house that I want. It's going to be a great house. And they have different, they have kids too. Obviously, there's more cost with kids and stuff. So it is what it is. But I all in all, I thought it was an interesting exercise to do. I'm still writing it. I got about 10 newsletters that are like half written. So, okay, let me start this up. Good morning. For you ASMR folks, I haven't had my water, but it's Thursday, July 3rd. It's a half day in the stock market. So I know this particular episode is going to get listened all weekend. So to anybody that's trading 0-day options that expire today at 1 o'clock, I mean, come on. You're asking to blow up your account. Whether it's up or down, you're just taking too much chance. But we got a big show. I am going to review. And yes, there will be some ads for Trendspider and Seeking Alpha mixed in here. But I'm going to go over everything that I've given you in the last week or two and everything that's currently running, and we'll go back even to October 9th. Then there's some crypto plays, some new stuff that you don't know about. Then again, the entire episode, I'm going to end the one with all ETFs are not created equal. Be careful which ones you choose. So again, listen to the end. But today is the last day. July 4th, by tomorrow, you have to be subscribed to my newsletter, okay? How do you get it? Well, you can go to Linktree. Linktree has it right here in the middle, okay? If you just want to go directly to the newsletter, it's dailystockpick.substack.com. And you just sign up. It is literally subscribe. Put your email address in. Your email address enters you to win a year of Trendspider, and not the lower portion. You're getting the Mac Daddy, the advanced. And I tell everybody, if it's within your budget, get the advanced. Why? Because at $107 a month, it sounds expensive, but you get up to 52 trainings per year. So that's one per week. Okay, so say 4 a month. 4 a month, divide that by $107 in a month. It's like $26 and change for a training. Think of it. How much do you pay for a tennis lesson? How much do you pay for a tutoring session for your kids? How much do you pay for a golf lesson? Again, $26 for a one-on-one with a product expert for an hour a week, learning the tool. You can't get better. That's why I say get the advanced. If you can't afford the advanced, don't miss out on standard, premium, or enhanced. The premium is the one that I would tell you to go and get because it's the most economical. It's half the price of the advanced, but you only get 2 trainings per year. For somebody that wants to learn on their own, that's probably fine. Sign up for an annual plan and get my 4-hour algorithm and all the tools that I use. Okay, it needs to be an annual plan. But you can even try this out for as little as $7 for 2 weeks. So if you're not sure that you're going to use it, you're not sure you're going to like it, go and look at it this weekend. Go and try it. $7, take the 3-day weekend and go and try Trendspider. But remember, you could win a full year by just signing up for my newsletter. And it's free. There's no cost. So I want to just announce, by the way, we were just debating this on YouTube. Shai put out a tweet that he's doing the Compound and Friends with Josh Brown. That means one of my friends on Spaces has actually made it. I'm still the low person who can't even get them to respond, although Josh Brown has written to me a couple of times. But again, it's just like, fandom kind of thing. So if you listen to the Compound this weekend, you may hear Shai. Go and tell Shai you listened to the Compound because of Gary from Daily Stock Picks. He'll get a kick out of it. I mean, we've talked about doing a podcast together. Very, very nice. I really like Shai, and he's super, super smart. I mean, the man has just done a great job. So I want to point out a couple of things. Okay, this particular quote from Peter Lynch hit me yesterday. It's from Earnings Hub, and you know I love Earnings Hub. And Hamid from Earnings Hub, if you're on Twitter, go and follow him as well. He's got such a great outlook on stocks, and he's got his own pick. I think his pick now is Rivian. I'm not a fan of it, but the elevator pitch makes sense. But Peter Lynch says far more money has been lost by investors trying to anticipate corrections than lost in the corrections themselves. That quote right there will tell you if you missed out on any of this, okay, it doesn't mean you wait for a pullback. It means if your outlook and your time horizon is over 1 year, just buy now. And the numbers will confirm dollar cost averaging underperforms just buying. Just buy it. If you got $100,000 to buy, just buy. Traditionally, dollar cost averaging is a good way to get into the market. But the numbers, go and have a discussion with Perplexity. The numbers say just buy. And even though we're at all-time highs, just buy. If your outlook is more than 1 year, I can almost look at everybody in the face and say, I am, 50%, 60% certain that over 1 year, unless there is a major financial issue, we will be higher. And that has been true for the last 20 years, okay, except for a few years. So understand exactly what this means. Understand exactly what it means for your portfolio. And here's some things, okay? Yesterday saw a golden cross. We talk about golden cross all the time in the S&P 500. It saw a golden cross. So this is on the daily, okay? This happens when the faster 50-day moving average moves above the slower 200-day moving average. All things considered, this is yet another reason to expect better than average returns. Bullish crosses, again, you may not believe in these charts, but a bullish cross, when you go back and you look at it, it has been signaled to a move higher. Doesn't mean you're going to get it tomorrow. Doesn't mean that it's coming in right away, but it does. It's what's called a bullish move. Go and Google golden cross. Okay, Grok answered it for somebody that asked me what it was. And not sure what I did wrong here, but I made some mistakes. Here's the thing. A 10% gain in Q2, which we did have after being down in Q1. Okay, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times that it's happened before, you've never been lower in Q3 and Q4. Up nearly 16% the final 6 months of the year. That's important because we're at all-time highs. What if we could go up 16%? Then those are the new all-time highs. We have talked about how you never peak in June. So again, all of the things that are pointing me towards this are saying, hey, we are going higher. Could we go lower? Absolutely. I'm no soothsayer. There comes risk with investment, but everything that I read says we're going higher. Now, I'm going to talk about this, okay? Let's just go over the newsletter. Again, the newsletter, you get it for free. So let's just go over some of the things that I gave you this week, okay? We will go over, look at this one, this Tuesday one. This Tuesday one, I'm going to stop that one. But the Tuesday one, there was a lot in here. And again, you go down to the pod notes. I've entered the seasonal trade of TQQQ, and I'm up on that one. I talked about GMS. We talked about CORZ. That one's up. Okay. Then I gave you the strong buys in Alpha Picks, CCL, ATG, and T-Mobile. But I told you, hey, Red Robin is a good buy. In researching the Alpha Picks EAT, I said this one may look like maybe a better opportunity, RRGB. So let's just go look at RRGB. Well, RRGB, since I gave you that, you're up 19.7%. That's fantastic. Okay? That's fantastic. Let's just scroll down a little bit more. You know, Trump telling you what's going to happen. He's telling you he wants 1%. You know, that's why we know. We know Apple. I said, hey, anything about 200? What are you at, 210, 215? Nice move there. SoFi soaring to new highs. Good thing. It hasn't come out who's getting TikTok, but Apple loving. Then I went over Robinhood. I talked about tokenization. They made that huge announcement. During the podcast, I said, you know, I think it's going to hit 100. And boom. It hit 100 yesterday. Now, if you had the 4-hour algorithm, you're up 141%. I have to update this from yesterday. We'll just update this because you're up 162% where you're trading right now in the 4-hour algorithm. Since I mentioned it, again, I mentioned it was selling for 92, you hit 100. There's a nice little 8, 9, 10% gain. Fantastic. Again, that's a good one. So let's go back to the newsletter just on Tuesday. This is just Tuesday, okay? And it is bull giving off hood vibes. Trendspider called this one out. Remember, anything that Robin does, Webull follows. So let's go look at bull. What did bull do yesterday? Bull, right now, it's up 4%. Let's go and look at it. Yesterday, you were up 11%. There's 3 stocks right there. Red Robin, bull, and hood, just in Tuesday's newsletter. Okay, that's just Tuesday's. So anybody that says, I'm not giving you gold, again, that's Tuesday's newsletter. And by the way, just so you know, with Webull, they sent me this last night. This sounds almost too good to be true. Now, this total APY, 8.1%, that's for the first 30 days, but it's still a great offer. And they're offering to match 2%. I'll put this in the newsletter if you want the link, because it does come with some added benefits if you use the link that I have. So, again, anybody that says I only pump affiliates, F you. And how I'm selling my text alert services, you're an ash. Die poor. Die poor, douchebag. Because I just gave you 3 in Tuesdays. Okay? And by the way, just so you know, Robinhood has gotten cheaper. Here's the PE ratio going down while the stock is going up. It's gotten cheaper. Stop sleeping on the fundamentals. The fundamentals matter, but it's gotten cheaper. So it's huge. So let's just go over where I found these. Red Robin. How did I find Red Robin? I was researching EAT because it's an alpha pick. Okay. And I found these takeover targets. This was, let's see, this one. Which restaurant chains could be taken over? And I found it. And Red Robin is down here with EAT. Boy, that's how I found it. Again, using the tools that you have. Where did I find Webull? I found it on Twitter from Trendspider. You should be following Trendspider on Twitter. Robinhood to 100, it was just in my head that stocks that have that momentum will reach 100. Okay, that's it. That's as simple as it can get. And when you're in a bull market and momentum is a strong thing. Now let's go over what I'm currently pumping from my tools. Okay, TQQQ. Let's just go over this one. I told you that I entered this one in. I'm up 5%. I told you. Why? Because Trendspider has the seasonality. Let's go back 15 years to 2010. Let's go back 15 years. And I said the first 2 weeks of July are really good. Again, die poor, douchebag, because you're not getting the tools. These are the tools that I use. I'm not selling you a service. I'm not selling you anything. I'm selling you something that you can use for yourself and make you money. Now, how did I get Carnival Cruise Line? Because Carnival Cruise Line, if we go and look, Carnival Cruise Line, I said, you know what? My 4-hour algorithm has you out with a nice 23% gain, but I would buy this before the earnings. And I said I would buy this before the earnings. You're up 23% since I said that. If you had the 4-hour algorithm and you bought here and you sold out, you're up almost 60%. Okay, and that's from Alpha Picks. That's this portfolio. It wasn't anything other than Alpha Picks. I had a nice debate with Wolfie yesterday on Twitter Spaces about whether Carnival or Royal Caribbean. They're both in Alpha Picks. This is a great portfolio. So again, if you have both tools, if you had Alpha Picks, maybe you looked at it and you said, ooh, it's a strong buy in the quant, and they're going into earnings. And I know from living with 55 and older folks, they love freaking cruises. They're going on, they can't get enough. So I gave you this one. Again, 23% so far. And that was from Alpha Picks. And I did my research on Seeking Alpha. Then I told you DPST. I talked about this one on the podcast. I said, you know what? In the scans, DPST, the logic behind it, well, the logic behind it is, hey, the 4-hour algorithm makes you 148% in this triple leveraged ETF on regional banks. What's coming up? Deregulation. It's up 28% so far. 28% so far. Again, using the tools that I have, which is the 4-hour algorithm, that's it. You're up 28%. Now, another one, I was just sitting around and I was showing Seeking Alpha, and I said, ooh, let's look at this one. SEZL. I said I didn't like it, but boy, the Quant loves it. It's a strong buy. Okay? So I went over here and I said, ooh, it's not bad. 1 month, up 61%. Let's just go over SEZL since I went over it. Right there. Since I went over it, you're up 11%. Again, the tools that I have, there's nothing that I use. You have confirmation on this one. If you bought it at $34, boy, aren't you happy because it's $172. Let's look at this one. That is 404% over 84 days. Again, gave it to you, handed it to you, and it was from Seeking Alpha. It wasn't from me. It's from Seeking Alpha. And then I said, you know, one of the tools that I have is my 4-hour algorithm in Trendspider. And I said, you know what? MSTR just came up with a buy at 384. But I said, you know, you may want to just double leverage this one. You're up 7% in just 8 days since it crossed on the 4-hour algorithm. Yes, I published that in the newsletter. So, again, if you want Seeking Alpha, they're on sale. I just told you about Alpha Picks and I showed you the Quant and stuff like that. I didn't find these. Most of these were just doing research, and it was just scanning and it was looking at opportunities and using both tools. This is the Gary bundle. You get Trendspider and you get the bundle here. It's Alpha Picks and Seeking Alpha Premium. Okay, Alpha Picks, we went over it. It is a data-driven portfolio. You get a pick on the 1st. We just got one. You get a pick on the 15th of each month. And they tell you when to sell. And you can see from the performance, it's unbelievable. This is just since June 19th. It's gone up since then. I just haven't updated the picture. Now, if you don't want the portfolio and you just want Seeking Alpha Premium, because what do you get with this? Well, you get AI-powered virtual analyst reports. You get the screeners, which I just found a bunch of crypto screeners, ETFs, which I'll go over. You get the quant rating. You get unlimited premium. But you also get the top second half 2025 stocks, which I went over, which is outperforming the market in just 7 days. You also get the top 2025 stocks from back in January, which are outperforming the market incredibly. Some of them up almost 100%. Alpha Picks outperforming on every time frame now, up 21% in just 3 months. So here's the thing. If you had gotten Alpha Picks, okay, 3 months ago, and you said, yeah, I'm going to buy the portfolio. Okay? If you had put $5,000 into the portfolio, the cost is $399 for this. You would have made over $1,000 with your 21% gain. So you do you, boo. But you know, the reality of it is, I'm not pumping these affiliates. I'm literally telling you, they make me money. So you still don't have enough? Let's kind of go over this. If you don't have enough, I brought up Poet. Okay, small cap semis look great here. Here are the top quant rated stocks by Seeking Alpha measurement. Okay, Poet is mentioned. Poet is the only smaller cap that has a strong buy. In 5 days, you're up 1%. You know, yesterday it was up 10%, and I brought this up just Tuesday. So yesterday, you're up. It's a buy the dip situation. 52-week range, it's going to 779. You're trading at 577. What do analysts think? They think it's worth 663. Again, you do you, boo. And then maybe you were just, you're a paid member of my newsletter. Okay? And so April 15th, a stock that might be a boom with tariff negotiations, and a stock that might be insulated from tariffs. These were two stocks, okay? The first one that might be used in the negotiations, Cheniere Energy. Since I mentioned it, up 10%. Simple as that. Simple as that. The other one that's insulated from the tariffs, Melly. This one, you could have made 30% since I mentioned it. So again, maybe I'm just, somebody that's shilling out there the paid stuff. But again, the point is, I can talk all about the great tools that I have. I can put everything great in the newsletter, but it's up to you to take action. Did I take these trades? No. But I help you find them. There are plenty out there that I miss that you could find using the tools yourself. I hope the tools that you have help you just as much as the tools that I have. And if you don't have tools, go and find them. Because I'll tell you, one of the tools that I use is Apple Notes. I'm a huge fan of Apple. You know I'm a huge fan of Apple. Well, I was going over my notes yesterday because sometimes I just clean up my notes. I have a list of notes. And on October 9th, I saw this. Okay, October 9th, I wrote myself a note. And I know I included these in the podcast. So I said, okay, let me look at these. TAC, this one ran up from 10 to 15, 50% gain. Could have done that one. Use charts. APP, I knew it was an alpha pick, so I said, I want to buy it. 137 it was trading at that day. It's now at 334, 150% gain. And yes, I bought it. CLS, $66. Okay, it's now $153, 131% gain. Yes, I bought it. Powell, another alpha pick, $230. It's now $360. Boom, 56% gain. Great. MicroStrategy, $185. I like trading it on my 4-hour algorithm. But if you just listened to me and bought and held, $403, 117%. Fantastic. I tell you to buy and hold it. I did. $35 to 62, up 77%. This is the big daddy. PSIX. At this point on October 9th, 2024, it was trading for $11. And I said, buy it. I said, this is a top stock in Seeking Alpha. Doesn't make sense. It's $11, but it's flying. Today, it's trading at $72. That's a 554% gain. You talk about 10 baggers, that's a 554% gain. In what? 6, 7, 8 months? During the same time period, VOO went from 530 to 577%. Enjoy being poor, douchebag. Enjoy being poor. So again, you can buy this stuff if you want, but just know there is something that I tell, one of the other things that I tell people is Bitcoin. It's going to 150. Go and watch this video. I made the prediction at the beginning of the year that I think Bitcoin will be at 150 at some point in time this year. IBIT just went to a strong buy. We'll talk more about crypto. I tell people to buy IBIT, to buy Bitcoin when it was at 80K. We're at 100. My prediction still remains. Go and do it. Okay? And then the jobs report yesterday. It's all about tariffs. The jobs report, we're seeing a jobs report this morning that shows the jobs are plentiful, markets flying. So then we've got the tariffs, the July 9th tariffs. So what happened? Well, Amazon CEO told Cramer last night, we did a lot of forward buying in the past several months, and a lot of it, our third-party selling partners forward deployed a lot of inventory to avoid some of the issues with the uncertainty around tariffs. And we have so far not seen any appreciable tariff inflation. So again, is this something you want to pay attention to? I'm a big fan of Amazon, but we just went over how the market may be higher in the later months. And again, I'm not selling an affiliate. I'm just giving you information. And FYI, the layoffs have started. My brother was one of the 9,000 that was laid off yesterday. And just understand, these are real people with real jobs. As an investor, I'm always rooting for lower costs from companies that I invest in because this boosts shareholder returns. I do think AI is going to quickly hit the job market. So I think Powell has to lower rates, or else he's going to be way too late like he was in rising. I'm not criticizing Powell. I just think he does wait a little too long. Do I think the president should be criticizing him and calling him names the way he does? No. And I am worried about who he places in there and the sanctity and the individuality of the Fed. But I'm a little bit worried about that. But does it take me out of the market? No. Because if interest rates go to 1%, I don't know what the market's going to do. That's why I'm following the trend. And right now, if you look at a weekly trend of QQQ, and you anchor this one. I mean, I'm just going to show you how to do a report. Here, March of 2020, and you have to touch 3 points. So the more points you touch, the better that trend line is. Maybe this is the trend line, okay, at the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, but you're trading at the top of the Bollinger Bands. So I would put the more emphasis on the 50-day right there. Because if you go under the 50-day, it's a buy signal on QQQ on the weekly. Now the MACD, it's kind of up there, almost 16 points above. The RSI at 63. Am I getting in here? No, but I may be making a mistake like Peter Lynch said at the beginning of the episode. Just understand, a lot of stocks like Microsoft are at all-time highs. It's a little bit tough out there. And again, Microsoft is laying everybody off. And I think this has a lot to do with AI. And I think we start to see this over and over again. Now, Bullish Byte said, hey, do you mind including, I put this out with the October 9th. And he said, hey, Powell's great one. These guys are great, by the way. You should follow them as well. You mind going over Shopify? No. I mean, this is a core portfolio stock. The 4-hour algorithm makes half of what buying and holding makes you. But I have put in some trend lines here. This trend line, we broke it. Once you broke it, boy, wouldn't that have felt good to buy this one at $69 in August of last year. We broke it. And now we're on this green trend line. And you're right at that trend line. Do I think we're going back to all-time highs? I do think so. Will we follow this trend line? The market will only tell. On a weekly basis, the MACD's right at the oscillator. The RSI's at 57. Let's go look at some of the fundamentals, because fundamentals do matter. This is an expensive stock. The valuation, 82 times forward earnings. Their PEG ratio, 3.81. That's high. But their growth, phenomenal. 26% revenue growth year over year. Earnings per share gap growth year over year, 1,450%. Fantastic. A- in the quant. Profitability, they're killing it. Killing it. To B+ in the profitability. Momentum, you can't beat it. 1 year, you're up 73 effing percent. The sector's up 3%. That's fantastic. Revisions, little bit concerning, because only 3 analysts in the last 90 days have brought up earnings per share up, earnings per share down, 31. And revenue, 18 up, 26 down. Now, say you know nothing about how to read this stuff. Well, that's the great part of Seeking Alpha. They go over it all for you. And they will go over the valuation, the growth, the profitability, the momentum, the revisions, and even include the positives and the concerns raised by the analysts. So you can go and make an educated decision about whether you want to buy this company. Maybe you want to buy one of the competitors, Wix, Squarespace, BigCommerce. And maybe you just say, you know what? Information technology in the internet and infrastructure, I want to buy one of these. GDS. This is the number one. And boy, over the last 5 days, it's up 2.39%. Over the last 1 month, you're up 26%, and it's still a strong buy. Still a strong buy. When did it go to a strong buy? At $26. You're at $30. That's a great return. And this one is getting, I think this is the one that's getting bought. But I like this one. Again, valuation, you can go and look at it. What does Wall Street think that it's worth? They think it's worth $41. That's 35% upside. So am I in Shopify? No. Do I want to get into Shopify? I have always said that I want to get back into Shopify, but I like it under $100. The 114 buy right here, you win 46% of the time. So for me, with a company like this, I'd much rather buy it under the 200 day, which comes along, than buy it up here. But I may be missing out. Again, I think that they have it's a great company with great products, with great management, and great profits. So again, I'm just concerned about the valuation, but I may miss it. You guys are younger. And this may be one of, again, we talk about, what stocks will make you a millionaire in 10 to 15 years. Maybe this is one. Maybe. For me, though, I'm just kind of staying out of it. And then what's another retail darling that I get asked about? It's Oscar Health. Oscar Health was down 18% yesterday, got down to 16. Okay, I've said this before. Oscar Health, it's expensive. It's a buy in the quant. Personally, I like it here more than I like it at 23. Even though everybody's talking about this one going up, it's got a 13% short interest. So you will see big ups and big downs. That's why I like to trade it. So you can use Seeking Alpha all you want, but for things like this, I like to use the 4-hour algorithm. And the 4-hour algorithm still has you in from this buy at 1580. Now, would I have gotten out? Probably. Because once you break that 9-day on the 4-hour algorithm, I don't like it. I don't like it. And it's going to get you out soon. The RSI is at 39. It's up a little bit today. Would I be buying this one? No. I'm not trading this one. They are my insurance company, and I may be a little bit suspect. But that support at $13, that's when you want to buy it. Yes, it's expensive. Okay? The valuation is great. They're not making money, but their growth is phenomenal. Phenomenal. But healthcare, we know healthcare. We know what the big, beautiful bill does. It actually cuts some of the spending. Where does Oscar make their money? It's from some of those healthcare initiatives. So where does the big, beautiful bill land? Well, chip stocks gain after the larger credits in the Trump's big, beautiful bill. You got Intel, you got Taiwan Semi, you got Micron, you got Global Foundries, and you got ADI. So maybe you want to take a look at those. Again, that bill is a huge one. And now we're going to go into crypto. Okay, because I probably need to put my sweater vest on to become one of the crypto bros. Because I was watching Nick on this guy Nick. He's a comedian and he does such great stuff on Twitter about I think it's Choose Rich. If you just go Choose Rich, you can see Nick. But he was talking about Solana last night, and it kind of hit me. Okay, we now have a Solana ETF. It launched July 2nd, 2025, marking a significant milestone. This is Perplexity, by the way. I just literally went to Perplexity and I just typed in Solana ETF and it gave me everything I needed to know. Okay? Now, I said, what does it have to do with staking? And if you don't know what staking is like a dividend. It is like an interest payment for you holding this token. And they give you, but you have to hold the token. Okay? So the Solana ETF, SSK, is directly tied to staking because it not only gives you investors exposure to the price of Solana, but also actively stakes all funds held on the chain. This means SOL tokens owned by the ETF are used to participate in the proof of stake network, which helps secure the blockchain and in return generates staking returns, currently 7.3%. 7.3%. If I told you there was a stock out there, an ETF, paying you 7.3%, would you take it? Maybe. But we don't have enough information about the ETF. Remember, it just launched. So my question would be, can this ETF, the ticker symbol's SSK, it's not covered by the quant, just out, but can it give you a 7% return while allowing you exposure to Solana, which is a fairly big token. Now, I don't know enough about crypto to tell you I'm bullish on this one. I just found this particular one because I know the SEC didn't allow staking returns with the ETF. And does this become, hey, when the ETF actually pays out the staking returns at 7%, is this going to crash the next day? I don't know. We don't have enough information. But I thought it was interesting. And there's another Solana ETF, SOLZ. It's been out for about a month or so. Okay, I don't know the difference between the two. Go and do your own research. Go and look at them. But I thought that was a big one. And oh, by the way, the one that I hold is IBIT for Bitcoin. Okay, I hold IBIT for Bitcoin. And here's the shocker. The Quant just moved it to a strong buy at its 52-week and all-time high. It moved it to a strong buy. Why? The momentum. I've been going over this one. 1 month returns 5%, 6 months returns 12%, 1 year returns 77%. So again, I like this one. And understand, all ETFs are not created equal. You need to do your research. You need to look at the returns. I bring up one of the biggest Bitcoin ETFs, GBTC. Over 1 year, look at the return. Okay, IBIT has given you 77% return. It's close to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at 81%. Okay, GBTC is up 57%. So I'm not actively tracking all of the ETFs with Bitcoin. You can do that if you want. But again, understand all ETFs are not created equal. You need to do your research. The ones I have, I've researched, I'm comfortable with. If somebody else points something out to me, then I'm going to get out of this one and move into something else. But right now, I'm comfortable buying IBIT. And how do I buy IBIT? Again, I am giving you my strategy. During the 4-hour algorithm, when it tells me to buy, I buy. Did I buy at this 61? No, I didn't. We're at 62. I'm hoping to get it under 60. I didn't listen, but I have a large enough position that when I use these moving averages to buy under the 50-day, I buy a larger amount until I get to 100% of my position. And boy, this range that I was saying, hey, we're setting up for a move. We made a move down. So during that time, I said, okay, I'm going to buy it there. Well, what happened? Well, you get right back to this range right here. Okay, you get right back to that range right now, and we're moving sideways. I don't know where it's going to go, but what I can tell you is during this time, the MACD was significantly higher. Looks like we're going for a move again. So all the indicators tell me that we're moving. So it's a good thing. Again, the market is up, IBIT is down, but the Qs right now, we just opened up, 0.60 up. We're in a bull market. I just went over everything that I gave you. Now, if you want any of these tools, again, it's a July 4th sale, and this will be listened to all weekend. So, Trendspider, the top link on Linktree, right there. Get the sale. Get the sale. The second link is the Seeking Alpha Premium and Alpha Picks bundle. Get the sale. It's still on discount. Okay? The third link on Linktree is Seeking Alpha Premium. That's by itself. It comes with a free 7-day offer. Let me give you a hack. Go and get the free 7-day trial. Go and look up the top 2025 stocks because they're set to go up for the through the end of the year. So maybe you're buying at a good time. And then get the second half stocks because maybe they'll go up for the rest of the year as well. And then the fourth link, Alpha Picks. That is the data-driven portfolio that outperforms the S&P. And it has proven to me it is a great, great tool. Again, they give you such great insights into these stocks. And they tell you how to buy. Now, in the newsletter, again, it's the last day to sign up to be entered in to win a year of Trendspider just by subscribing to the newsletter. But I also provide you at the end of the newsletter what I call scans. And what I do is I scan watch lists, I scan indexes, and I scan everything for bullish entries in the 4-hour algorithm for all these stocks. When you sign up for a yearly plan of Trendspider, I give you the 4-hour algorithm. I give you the 65-minute algorithm. I give you a 1-hour algorithm. I give you all of the watch lists that I use to scan against. I give you the scanners that I've developed. So again, if you don't want to buy Trendspider, I give you these for free. Go and use your own tools. So for anybody who's saying, oh my God, all he's selling, I want to see everybody who's made money off this podcast reply to those douchebags in any of the comments and say, douchebag, you're not listening. Die poor. Hashtag die poor. That's the hashtag, die poor. But today I'll give you a bunch of leveraged ETFs, some low cost Vanguard ETFs. VNQ is the one, low cost Vanguard. Again, I've gone through all of these. This is the real estate. And two of the spider sectors, XLE and XLRE. So again, if you have any questions here on Linktree, my email address is up there. If you get to subscribe to the newsletter, you can just reply to the newsletter. I'll reply to your email. Have a great weekend. Enjoy July 4th. We'll be back Monday, and I'll have more picks for you. Okay, take care. Have a great weekend. Bye. Okay, let me put... I thought that was a pretty energetic... Maya? Are you here, Maya? Hold on, I'm gonna yell. Daisy's at my feet. I don't know why.
Yeah, she's been clingy. She was sleeping on top of me.
I think she's okay. I think she's
Yeah, she was licking, nauseated.
She's nauseous.
She's okay now.
Is she?
Yeah, she's not licking her lips anymore.
Okay, yeah, that's the sign that she's nauseous.
Right, it was earlier, and then she slept with me.
Okay.
And
It always happens. July 4th.
And Penny's licking her face.
Yeah, that means that she's probably okay. Okay, I just wanted to make sure you were around just in case I needed to take her out. Mm-hmm. I created a new hashtag, Die Poor.
Die poor.
To all the people who yell at me that I do too many promotions. So the new hashtag is Die Poor, douchebag.
That's my good style.
I don't know if I added the douchebag part. I'm still on, but I'm editing this thing. So I'm not looking at people's comments. I'll look at the comments in a little bit.
Be nice to them. They have to listen to your dog's poop stories. And...
I know. Did you finish? You didn't finish Poop Cruise with me, did you? You couldn't watch it?
No.
Yeah.
I got the gist of it.
Poop Cruise was fantastic. Hashtag Netflix bullish. Okay, let me see. Export file. 73 pod. Okay. And we'll put that one up. Okay. Die Poor is gonna make. Hey D-Man. Yeah, Larry, Seeking Alpha is so good. The crown next to your name comes as you comment more. And you're here, I think. Honest to God, D-Man, I don't know how you get it, but it just tells me that you're a top chatter for some reason. I think I turned it on. I don't know how I did it, but yeah, Solana, I don't know much about crypto, but from what I know, Solana sounds like a good one. We will be doing the drawing tomorrow, but not live, Larry. I'm basically taking all the email addresses from the subscribers of the newsletter and sending them to Trendspider, and they're going to pick the winner. And then they'll notify me, and we might do a live announcement on Monday. still kind of working through that. So, hey, Lucas. Is this a good point to get in or wait for a buy? Steven, IONQ, they're not making money. I think they have revenues. Let me look real quick. I think it's one of the quantum plays that actually has revenues. They do 43 million in revenue, and your market cap is 11.71 billion. And by the way, that's not including all the costs. Realize they are losing money. So they're losing money and it's not profitable. So is it a good entry point? I mean, for me, it would be a trade. And to trade, I would be looking at the 4-hour algorithm because it makes you 509% versus 353. So you win 40% of the time. It's about once a month, 24 months, 25 positions. Your average win is 50%. So would I be buying here? That's a tough ask in that 48 is the all-time high, I think. Yeah, when we go back here, I guess it's closer to 50. But, I mean, you know, you've had these weeks right here. I'm going to get rid of that. Let's look at a weekly. You've had, I mean, if you're going to, like, cut straws, let's see, January, it popped up to 54. I mean, that MACD was just too high. So I don't know if it's a good one, but IONQ for me would be a trade and figure out a strategy that works. If you have my 4-hour algorithm, you could use that one. If you don't, I mean, again, find a strategy that works. It's just, you know, they're not making money. So expect ups and downs. This is going to be hugely volatile. So if you don't know how to trade, I'd say go into it with a smaller position, but that would be it. XRP ETF coming soon, I hope. I don't know. Ripple, I don't know it, but I think most crypto, I'm a little bit skeptical of the ETFs because some of them have pulled the rug over people's eyes about whether they're trading the actual coin, whether they're trading the futures, things of that sort. So just do your research, Lucas. That's the thing. I guess only I can reply. Yeah, I'll reply to him. Yes, stock market closed at 1. No extended hours. You're right, Chris. I think there's extended hours like on Robinhood and stuff, but overall, no. So, okay, I'm out of here. It's already 9:40. I got to do a bunch of stuff, and I have a sick dog. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you guys for showing up every morning. I appreciate it, and if there's anything that I can do for you, just let me know. Okay, see ya.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.